Sister, teachers, and friends. The class 10 will now present a skit on Mary Ward. The Institute of the Blessed Virgin Mary was founded in 1609 by an English woman named Mary Ward. Mary was the eldest daughter of Marmaduke Ward and Ursula Wright. She was born on the 23rd January, 1585 in Yorkshire, England. When Mary was very small, she was getting on a chair near an open window. Her mother noticed the danger Mary was in and called upon the name of Jesus to protect the child.
Jesus!
Mary imitated her mother immediately, and she spoke her first word, Jesus. Since then, Jesus came to mean so much to Mary. This first word of hers was important. Girls got married very early in those days. At the age of 10, Mary got her first proposal from a nobleman named Redshaw. Mary prayed and asked God to prevent the marriage. Again, at the ages of 12 and 13, Mary received two other proposals which she refused. One day, when Mary was preparing for her first Holy Communion, a messenger came from her father, and she spontaneously ran out to meet him to receive the message which her father had sent. The servant read out her father's orders that she was not to receive her first communion until she received instructions from him. Mary could not believe that her father, whom she loved dearly, could have sent that message, and so, after prayer, she decided to receive the communion. She later found out from her mother that her father had not sent her that message. When Mary was 15, she went to stay with her cousin, Barbara Backthorpe, at Oswaldby. Barbara was just 7 years old. She and Mary spent a lot of time with a servant of the house, Margaret Garrett. Margaret told them stories about religious life. It was through her that Mary heard God's call for the first time. In 1606, Mary was asked by her parents and her confessor, Father Holtby, to marry a young man, Edmund Neville. She refused. One day, Father Holtby told Mary that he would not stand in her way from following her vocation. Mary left home in 1606 with her parents and the confessor's approval for Saint Omer in France. In October 1609, Mary returned to England. She went around visiting people who had lost their faith and in her quiet, gentle way brought them back to the church. When Mary was combing her hair, she suddenly realized that God was not wanting her to join any strict order, but that she would do something that would give him greater glory. 2 hours passed, and all Mary could remember was the word glory. This experience gave Mary deep peace and happiness. She now knew that the one aim of her life was to live for the praise and glory of God in everything. In 1611, measles attacked many in France. Mary took care of the people and so got the disease herself. While she was in bed, recovering towards the end of that year, she received a clear light as to how to organize her institute. Take the scene of the society. Father General will never permit it. Go to him, were the words she heard. This brought her great peace, knowing that she was to found a congregation for women religious, based on the rules of the Society of Jesus for the glory of God. Mary was opening the way to a new form of religious life. Her ideals were so new that they shocked popes, bishops, priests, and even the common people. People were saying, They gallop about in town and country. They are just galloping girls. But Mary's ideal was a group of dedicated women free to move at the service of the church. They were to be ever ready for all those tasks which could be done for the salvation of souls. Mary fought for the rights of women. She felt that what men can do, women could also do. Those were the days when parents spent money educating their sons only. Mary saw the need there for the education of girls. In 1615, she had 60 sisters. Mary had a long struggle to get the Pope's approval for her institute. The people who were most against Mary's work were the church authorities, because she as a woman went out in service, a thing which was unheard of at the time. Meanwhile, her work went on. Schools were opened in St. Omer, Rome, Germany, Austria, Naples, and Hungary. In November 1630, Mary was condemned a heretic. Mary knew she was innocent, so she wrote to the Pope and the cardinals. But on the 7th of February, at about 4 a.m., two priests came to take her to prison. She was taken to a convent of St. Clare at Angers. Mary got very sick on 18th March, and the doctor said that she would die if she remained there. Mary received the last sacraments on the 1st April 1631, but she knew she was not going to die. She recovered completely. On the 15th April, the sisters received a message from the Pope asking for Mary's release. On the 1st January 1645, she made her confession and received communion for the last time. On the 30th of January 1645, at 11 o'clock, she died at the age of 60. Her last words were, "God will assist and help you. When God shall enable me to be in His place, I will serve you. Live God's vocation in you constantly, efficaciously, and affectionately." Her body was kept from Monday to Wednesday and was buried next to the porch of the Ostaldwick Church. On her tombstone was written, "To love the Pope, persevere in the same, live, die, and rise with them was all the aim of Mary Ward, who lived 60 years and 8 days and died on the 30th of January 1645. Thank you.